Hey everybody, I am in Park Circle Disc Golf Course in Charleston, South Carolina. Traveling, as some of you may or may not know, my son plays hockey and he goes to multiple cities for tournaments, and we are in Charleston. So I thought I would give Park Circle a try. It is a dreary morning, been a lot of rain. I don't know if I'm gonna get rained on today. And I also don't even know if I have enough time to play the entire course. So we're just gonna play a few holes. I have a little bit of morning voice, so hopefully it doesn't come across in the video too bad. This park is essentially in the middle of a very large roundabout. And when I look at the map, from basket to basket, I'm gonna have to cross the street to get to the next tee pad, which I'm fine with, but it's just a very fascinating use of land. And we have a beautiful park across the street from where I am right now, with like cleared lots of places for kids to play. The equipment looks pretty amazing, awesome. I'm seeing a couple of runners running around. So we're gonna see how it goes. One of the things I'm just looking around, I'm already a little bit afraid of is having my discs go into the road. So I'm gonna be careful of that. What I want to chat with you about today, and I think this would be a little bit of a short video for that, is I had the wonderful opportunity to play with a disc golf pro. It was one of the first time I've ever had a chance to play with someone who was on the pro tour, Nathan Queen. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, you've had a chance to see my round with him and had a chance to ask him a bunch of questions and get to learn a little bit more about his journey. It was fantastic. Nathan Queen is an awesome guy, and I was very appreciative of his willingness to talk to me. Today I want to give you a couple of things that I noticed while watching him play. And we didn't talk about it in the interview, but there were some things that, in my opinion, were just glaringly obvious in his game, and it has inspired me to think about that in my own game, and I thought I would share some of my observations with you in the next couple of holes, and we'll see how it goes. All right. So the first thing that I noticed about Nathan Queen's game is that his run-up was not very fast, his run-up was not very long, but once he wound up and threw the disc, it was super fast. It was almost like a lever was released and a rubber band was shot off. And so as soon as he hit his right foot, it was just like boom. And that was interesting to me for a variety of different reasons, was because the run-up was relatively slow, the run-up was relatively short, but then to have that boom hit just super fast just was very starking to me, and it was very obvious. And so that was sort of the first observation that I'll share with you today, is that once he hit that point, it was just like spring action was unloaded. All right, we are at basket number 1 here at Park Circle, and it looks like it's a par 3. And I don't know where the basket location is exactly, but if I have it correct, it's basket position A, 296 feet. I'm going to go with my Discraft Athena. I think that was okay. You've never seen me throw the Athena before. It used to be in my bag. I find it flies relatively straight and then finishes left, which I think that did that for me. So that was nice. One of the things that was also, if you ever had the chance to see pros play in person, I had the opportunity to go to DG, the Disc Golf Championships this year. It was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But one of the things that I also noticed in playing with Nathan Queen, which was awesome, is it just looks like they're not even trying. Their form is so smooth and they're so relaxed, and it just seems like they're not even trying, which is pretty amazing to watch. A little short, but I'll take it for the first throw of the day, and I have a bush in front of me. And you watch this pro who looks like they're barely throwing, looks like they're barely trying. They have a mid-range or a putter in their hand, and it goes 300 plus feet. And you're just, I don't know, I found it amazing. All right, as you know, I'm a stickler for signs. Now, going from basket 1 to basket 2 was relatively obvious. I still think it would have been nice if there's a little sign, or even on the basket, there was an arrow pointing to cross the street to get me to this tee pad. I'm just saying, I'm not going to completely ding Park Circle, but because we're relatively close, but a little something would have been nice. The second observation I'm going to make was that Nathan Queen was super chill, super relaxed. Now, obviously, we're just having a round, casual round, so it's not like anything was on the line, but he had a couple of bad shots. He hit a couple of trees. He was not perfect. And so that was kind of cool to see a pro not be perfect. But when he did hit a tree, or when he did not have the greatest shot, if it fazed him or bothered him, I couldn't tell. And so that was the second observation, just super chill, taking what shot he had. All right, basket number 2, par 3. Looks like we're here in the A position, 219 feet. I'm gonna go with my A5. And that was about perfect. We actually talked about focus and a little bit in our interview. And the thing is, like I said, he was relaxed, but I wouldn't say he was not focused, you know, right? And so there's a difference between being relaxed and focused, and being focused and tense, right? And so that's the one thing that I think I want to really work on this year, 2025, how to just take the shots as they come. If I hit a tree, if I grip lock, if I early release, that's fine. Just do the next shot and be focused in the moment, in the present. So. So there's definitely a flow to this park, which is kind of cool. But like I said, would still love an arrow. And again, from basket 2 to basket 3 tee pad, had to cross the street. I can imagine if there's a lot of cars going by, this would be an annoying course to play. Right now, it's pretty, like I said, it's in the morning, and it's a Sunday, but there's still cars going by. And so every time I cross the street, I still got to pay attention, and safety first, y'all. So basket number 3, once again, looks like the basket's in the A position. So that's one thing I'll say. It looks like for every basket, there are 3 locations for where the basket can be located. So I think that's cool. When I looked it up on UDisc, I thought it said it had 2 tee pads, but I have not seen 2. Nope, take that back. There is a second tee pad. So I think what happens is, and if you are watching this and you play Park Circle, feel free to write in the comments how this works. When you play 1-9, you play 1 tee pad. When you play the second 9, you play a different tee pad. So that's pretty cool. So one of the downsides to making these videos using my phone is it's hard for me to make these videos and use UDisc to travel. So I may not be using the right tee pad exactly correct, but this is why signage would be great, because not everyone has UDisc. Anywho, I thought I'd share with you what disc I brought for this trip. Every time I go on a trip, it's always a question on what discs I bring. So as you know, since I'm no longer on Prodigy Street Team, my discs are a little bit more varied. So I'm just going to share with you what made my travel bag. My Buzz, my eyeball Buzz, I'm going to start calling this my Sauron Buzz because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Yes, I am a nerd. I brought my Athena for longer throws because it has some stability. It's unlikely to turn over. Of course, my Hex, my Axolotl. I brought my A5 for upshots. I almost brought my Distortion, but ended up bringing my A5. And then, of course, my PA3 for my putter. And that's it. So hopefully, I think for this course, I think it's worked out pretty well. The only time I find that I've brought the incorrect disc, and I have to think about this, if I go to a place that's very windy and I don't bring enough stability. So, all right, That's, like I said, basket 3, 259 feet. It is behind those trees on the left. I either got to go straight at it and get over this big bush and have it go in. So I think I'm gonna go Buzz. Go with Sauron. I think that's all right. I'm not making it official yet, but I'm pretty confident Sauron, the Buzz, is going to be in my bag. So it flies very much like I like it to fly. So far, I'm also noticing this is a very clean park, so very nice. Ooh, barely. But barely still counts. No chains. Okay, my first snafu. I was thinking it was going to be a standard walk in a circle, so I was going to give the park a little bit of a pass with the lack of signage. But from basket 3, as soon as you cross the street, you get to T-pad for 13, which is very confusing. So I actually had to get U-disc out to figure out where to go for basket 4. Basket 4 seems to be a long one. We are in, it looks like, so this is what's confusing, because I think basket 13 is the same basket, but from the T-pad that is across the street from basket number 3. So anyway, again, signs are wonderful. So I think this, from this T-pad, I'm going to what looks like the A position, which is 349 feet. I find it to be very scary because the basket is right next to the road. And so I think I'm just going to play this one for par. I'm going to try the Athena forehand and see how it does. Oh, before I throw. The next observation I want to make is that, and this is similar to the previous observation, is that his mistakes seem to be way less of an issue than my mistakes. There was at least one time where he hit a tree, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit excited because I was going to beat him on the basket, and I was internally, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I just wanted to beat him on one basket. That's all I wanted. And I didn't tell him this, but before the round, I just wanted to beat him on one basket. And I did beat him on one basket. But I remember there was a basket where he hit a tree. Internally, I was a little excited because I was thinking I was going to beat him on that particular one. And then, of course, I hit a tree. And I said, okay, fine. But what was crazy is his tree hit seemed to be in a much better spot than my tree hit. And so one of the things that I'm going to say as an observation, I just feel like his misses were not nearly as bad as my misses. And so his misses always gave him an opportunity, in some cases for a miraculous birdie or just a super simple par. And so I don't know if that's a pro thing. And I would have, if I could go back, I would ask him, hey, are you sort of planning your misses? I don't know if that makes sense. I know in ball golf, pros that I used to play with, we used to practice, all right, if you miss here, where is your better misses, right? And it made me wonder if he was doing the same thing. So, all right. Little flick on basket number 4, 350 feet, Athena. Should be an easy par from there or a miraculous birdie. Just gonna lay this PA3 up towards the basket. We actually, after I stopped videoing the round, we actually kept playing for a little bit. And I had a really cool throw in on 18, which I wish I would have got on camera, but it was a lot of fun. One piece of advice Nathan did give me, which I might turn into a video, is I guess when he was starting in his journey towards being a pro disc golfer, he would only throw mid-ranges and stable, very neutral mid-ranges. And he said it really helped him figure out how to put different angles on the disc and get a proper sort of feeling and form for throwing a disc. And he felt that made it possible for him to pretty much throw any disc after that. And instead of relying on, he said, instead of relying on what the disc is designed to do, focus more on what you are doing with the disc. And so that's a piece of advice that I plan on taking, and I think I probably will turn into a video at some point. So that's sort of my next. That was really not an observation. That was actually one of the sort of real one lessons that he gave me that I don't know if it made the video or not, but it made this one. Basket number 5. Basket number 5, it looks like a shorty, just straight ahead, 216 feet. So it's Sauron buzz time. One thing I do like about that buzz is even when I put too much ante on it, like I did in that one, it still comes back a little bit. I'm still also surprised at how far that buzz goes without much effort, which is nice, but I gotta get used to it because it definitely went farther than I wanted to for the shot. So you can't see it, but the basket is right behind this bush, and I think if I were to play this basket again, I would either throw my hex, because I'm feeling the wind. The wind is in my face, and so it was a left to right wind. So it's not too surprising that the buzz ended up over here. I probably would have used a little bit more stability for that disc. So let's listen for a birdie drop in. Nope, did not hear it. I don't think I was far off though. It's more challenging to hit a basket when you can't see it at all. So once again, I had to use U-disc to get to basket 6, because from the basket of basket 5, if you go with the flow of going around in the circle, you actually end up at the tee pad for basket 7. So I'll try to leave this sinus thing alone. Basket number 6, I think we are still in the A position. I actually cannot see the basket. It is tucked away behind the bushes near the road. And so it looks like we are at about 259 feet. The only way that I can think of to get there with the disc that I currently have in my bag is to do a forehand with the Athena. Too high, and the tree hit. It's all right. Little upshot with an A5, get around these trees. Perfect. All right, we are at basket number 7, and since I know some of you don't watch these videos in their entirety, I'm looking at you, Luke. I'm going to give you my last observation in playing around with a professional disc golfer. His disc, when they flew, were flat. I mean, there was no nose up. It didn't matter if he was putting it on ante or hyzer. It just looked like a disc playing parallel to the ground. And that is something that if I were to say that there's a #1 thing that I'm going to work on as a disc golfer moving forward, how do I get that disc to be nose neutral or nose down? And that was just huge. I thought it was just such a stark difference in the way the disc flew compared to the way my disc flew that I will remember for a very long time. So so when I practice or when I have a round, I think I want that to be my #1 thing throwing off the tee pad, getting that disc to be nose neutral or nose down. It was just starking. All right, basket number 7, 250 feet. I think I'm going to be able to play all 9 baskets. I won't be able to play all 9 pads. But since some of you, this might be where you're ending, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget that I appreciate you. And don't forget that if you see me out there on the course, don't forget to say, hey, I love you all. So let's do this. Basket number 7, 250 feet, if it's where I think it is. Oh, I do see it. It's in the shadow of the bushes and the trees. So I think I'm going to throw it to the right, have it hyzer back in, and for that, I think I will use my hex. Axolotl time. I think distance-wise, that was perfect. I was hoping for it to go a little bit more left at the end, but I think we have a little bit of wind happening. So this is what happens when you've never played a course before. You learn spots where you don't want to be. And so basically I am in the worst spot for this basket, and I have this very monster tree in front of me. I don't know why, I just assumed that my disc would hyzer in near the basket. And I think, like I said, we have wind, or I would just have a look. I'm not that far, I'm in circle one. It's just that I have a big old tree in front of me. So I will see what I can do. I think I see a window. I think I was avoiding the left because, perfectly honest, the road gets in your mind, or at least it gets in my mind. Like, I was worried I didn't want to be left because of the road or because of runners. Basket number 8. Based on the sign, it looks like it's A. No, sorry, it looks like it's B. Not exactly sure, but if I'm looking at the right basket, it's way down there, and it's about 326 feet. The fastest disc in my bag is the Athena, so we'll give it a shot, see what we can do. Truth be told, y'all, I was not unhappy with that throw. A little short. The final takeaway on Park Circle Disc Golf Course, I really like it. I would play it on a regular basis. I think there's some minor signage issue. I think the road is an issue, but it is clean. I like the shapes that they've created with the space. And it actually is a really nice looking park. It really is. To me, it is a great example of what you can do in an urban space and still be beautiful and make the best of what you have. So if you can make a disc golf course here around this very huge roundabout, you can make a disc golf course anywhere. So we are at basket number 9. It looks like we are going straight ahead, it looks like, so potentially to the A basket, 264 feet. I'm gonna go straight at it with the buzz, with Sauron. Let's see what Sauron does for me. Sorry, I changed my mind. I'm going to go straight at it with my axolotl, the Hex. I think the wind's been keeping my disc less stable, so that's why I'm going with this one. Oh, that was close. I almost went into the road and turned it over. I'm going to blame myself for that, not the Hex. The mistake that I made was I was worried about the distance. Definitely did not need to be worried about the distance. Get in, get in. Oh. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching from here in Charleston, South Carolina. Have a good one.